Happy Tuesday, everybody. It is Chad from Colorado Giants. It's time for your Tuesday update on how we going, how things are doing, how I'm doing, how things are going in the greenhouse this week. So let's just jump right into it. I'm going to keep things simple yet again because that worked out well, because all I have to do really is hit the upload button. So no intro, don't need it. We'll start at the back of the greenhouse, and right here, 2118 Barron is, it's really rocking and rolling, honestly. I mean, we only have this much left, so it's terminating the side vines, letting it grow over here. So that means it's at least 20 foot wide, probably a little bit longer, and probably 15, 16 foot long. I did pollinate this one. Oops, got a tendril wrapping around the female there. I pollinated this yesterday, so that was, what's today? Today's 13th or the 14th? 14th. So yeah, it's the 13th it was pollinated. So my latest pollination, I crossed this with a 1501 because as time goes on, I'm getting more and more impressed with that 1501 plant. So yeah, this is doing good. I have a little bit of vine bearing to catch up on this plant, but not a ton. The wet wall is off right now because what I'm doing usually in the evening time at about 6 o'clock or so, I turn off the wet wall so I retain heat going into the evening time, especially this week because it's not, we've been in the high 90s, almost 100s, and this week, today we didn't get out of 80. And the lows are going to be in the 50s, so I don't need the cooler. Yeah, and then if you didn't watch the other video this week, I installed some foggers. So at each set of walking boards, I have 2 foggers. I only really used them one day where it was hot, and it knocked the temperature down at least 10 degrees. So the greenhouse at its hottest is about 90 or 90-ish degrees, so it's going to be in the low 80s, which is awesome. The day before, so I did it on Tuesday or Sunday, so Saturday the high was 88, and then on Sunday when I turned on the mister, the high was then 79, 76, so roughly 10 degrees less, somewhere around there. But yeah, so anyway, back to the plants. 1911 Urana is looking really good. Sunflowers kind of taken off there, which I really like. I pulled lots of weeds today. I probably have like 4 5-gallon buckets of weeds I've hauled out, and I'm trimming plants because I'm going to go out of town this weekend. So the missus and I are going out of town for the first time all by ourselves in probably 2 years since we've had Max. So I'm kind of excited, and I'm trying to just get caught up on everything, so when I go out of town for a few days, I'm not gonna feel like I've left anything out. So this one, 1911 Urana crossed with 1938 Urana. I'm slowly scooting this over. Every day I do just about that until the pumpkin's going to be over here. This is what? So if this was the 3rd, then today's the 14th, that's 11 days old. So looking pretty good there. Size 13 for comparison. Pretty happy with how that's looking. Looks like this might be a little on the oranger side of the coloration as well. I keep the stool over it so that the sun is not beating down on the pumpkin, because hopefully these will be rocking and rolling and doing 40 pounds a day worth of growth, and we need that skin soft and smooth. I did go get some sheets of foam, so today, once Maxwell goes to bed, Emily and I are going to come out and put some sheets of foam underneath the 3 pumpkins. 1938 Urana plant is still rocking and rolling. I've stopped letting the plant poke out, so I've terminated those lines. Need to terminate that one right there. So this plant, now that it's all said and done, is probably 24 foot wide, and the length is somewhat of a skewed number because this S-curve right here. This plant also took some bad heat damage. It did not like the heat, and that vine tip right there looks like it's coming back. For like 3 or 4 days it didn't grow. It was just it kind of stunted. It looked almost burned, but I don't think it is, because it's starting to grow again, thankfully. My backup pumpkin will open up tomorrow. I'll pollinate that. But this guy was the 5th. So what, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. So this is 9 days old. Looking real good. This one too has another real nice round shape to it. I dig it. Scoot this over just a hair. And yeah, this one was real tall. Oop. So I put a little bit of a foam pool noodle underneath that to keep it supported, and it's doing better now. The roots on all my plants are doing great. Go back. This one is probably the furthest behind on vine bearing. I just need to get out here and do that. Probably not tomorrow's Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday I do have a little free time. I'm taking Thursday morning off because we're leaving later in the day, and that's when I'm going to catch up on the pumpkin plants. So looking real good back here. The stump looks great. I did accidentally overflow my water tank. I went to go get Max from daycare, and I don't know, maybe 100 gallons or so probably overflowed. So this section back here is quite moist. There we go, walk around. So again, terminating all these vines here. Bushel gourd, I'll tell you about the bushel gourd when we get over there. 1501 Vander. It's looking great. I really like this plant. Like I told you, I crossed this plant with the one in the back because I really like this plant. I don't know if I'll be able to. I would grow this again, 100% would grow again, but the seeds are hard to come by. This is the 4th, so it's 10 days old. 10 days old. It's probably about the same size as the 1911. That's a day younger. Or that's a day older, rather. And another nice round one. So maybe I'll get lucky and have a lot of really pretty pumpkins this year. The plant is really liking the mist, the fog that I threw down on it, and it's really stopped the burning. So yeah, if that continues to happen, that's great. Pollinated that backup yesterday. Is that yesterday or was that today? I don't know. Pollinated that one. I have some pictures of it on my phone. The backup, I selfed it. And then finally, I was really on the struggle bus with this here. Bushel gourd was driving me bananas. I don't know if you remember the last videos. Those vines were going up the side of the greenhouse. So I had to go through and I chopped those back a little bit. And I'm directing everything over this direction. And the main vine, so the main vine goes around here, over there, and that's the main vine. And I'm probably just gonna run it all the way back because I've got nowhere else to put it. But I wasn't getting any females. I wasn't getting any female bushel gourds, just all these males, until finally yesterday. Well, I was getting them on the tertiary vines, and that's not ideal. So you got your secondary, your main vine. We'll pretend that's the main vine, and the secondary vine, and then the tertiary vine. So I finally got a female on a secondary vine because bushel gourds do not have females on the main vine. So I finally got one on the secondary vine. I pollinated that yesterday or last night. So this would actually even be a good spot for a bushel gourd to just grow. So hopefully that one took. If not, I have another one right there. That'll open up probably tomorrow. And then I'm looking, I got another one right here. So at this point, the plant is trying to reproduce itself, and I've got 4 opportunities there. So the next probably 10 days, I'll have 4 chances to pollinate a bushel gourd, and I'll try all of them. And hopefully one will stick, and we'll have a big giant green apple growing here at the front of the greenhouse. And then if you don't know, if you haven't seen the other videos, these are the sheets of styrofoam. I usually put down a piece of plywood first, but this year I'm just going to use the foam, and then on the foam I put some sand, and then that's where the pumpkins grow on. This will give them somewhat of a base. People will like drill holes. I'm not going to do that. The water will wick away, I feel like, anyway. And that's it. That's the update for this week. Everything's looking great. I appreciate you guys watching the videos. If you have any questions, post below. I am always happy to answer those questions, comments, queries, concerns, all that stuff. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Get out there, grow yourself a giant pumpkin. See ya.